Hey guys, Shardz back here on another video, and today we're going to be talking about Phase 2 of the MCU. We're going to be explaining everything about the films, and we will be saying the release date, who directed the film, who starred in the film, and how it was received, and how I received it, and its impact on the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, last week we did Phase 1, so if you haven't seen that video already, the link is in the description down below, and I recommend you guys check that out before you watch this video. So yeah, let's start off. So the first film of Phase 2 of the MCU is Iron Man 3. Now most of the second films of the MCU, like sequels to the original like trilogies, are in Phase 2, such as, of course, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Thor: The Dark World, but Iron Man 2 was in Phase 1, so basically Iron Man 3 is in Phase 2, and it's the only third movie of a trilogy that is in Phase 2. The director was Shane Black, and it casted Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, Don Cheadle as War Machine, Guy Pearce as Aldrich Killian, and Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. Now, basically, Tony isn't the same after the battle in New York. He's very scarred from it. He keeps having visions, kind of an invasion or something happening with Thanos, and he's kind of scared and stuff. And he has to fight these group of terrorists who call themselves the Mandarin. Now, there's a big twist with the Mandarin here, and this is why a lot of people don't like this movie. I personally just don't like it because it doesn't capture the vibe of the other two Iron Man movies that I like a lot. So, Iron Man 3 is personally my least favorite Iron Man film, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, basically, in Iron Man 3, they just made too many changes to the Mandarin, and that's why people didn't like it. And not a lot of changes to the MCU in here, just basically setting up Ultron. So the next one we have is Thor: The Dark World, one of the worst MCU films ever of all time. It was released on, oh, by the way, Iron Man 3 was released May 3rd, 2013. And Thor: The Dark World was released November 8th, 2013. It was directed by Alan Taylor, and it casted Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Anthony Hopkins as Odin, and Christopher Eccleston, the Fantastic Doctor, as Malekith. And basically Thor goes back to the Nine Realms, kind of like saves them from all the chaos they were in since he was gone, and he has to fight these dark elves who are trying to get the reality stone. Now in this movie, Loki dies for the second time, and it's really bad. It's a bad film. It's kind of really boring. I personally like a lot of things in the film, but it's not one of my favorite movies, and I would not recommend watching it if you don't like a kind of a more boring film. So this is not my favorite film. Then next up is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which was released on April 4th, 2014. This is the first film of the MCU that Anthony and Joe Russo did direct, and they went on to direct some of the best films in the MCU. Now, this is one of my favorites, and that'll be another MCU video, but this one is such a good movie, and I really recommend you guys watch this. Just watch Captain America 1, Avengers, and then this, if you haven't seen like a lot of the MCU, because this is such a great movie. It's a political thriller, and I really enjoy it. It casted Chris Evans as Captain America, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and that's pretty much everyone. And then, like, for newer people, Robert Redford as Alexander Peace, Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill. And, yeah, this was a pretty cool film. I love this film, and I don't want to spoil anything, that's why I'm not telling you a lot. Basically, it introduces Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and makes Black Widow, Fury, and Cap better characters. So if you don't like Cap and you really like Iron Man more and you haven't seen this film, I'm pretty sure this film will make you love Cap way more. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the best films in the MCU, along with Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I think 2014 was the best year for Marvel movies, in my humble opinion. This was directed by James Gunn and it starred Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, Zoe Saldana as Gamora, Dave Bautista as Drax, Vin Diesel as Groot, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, and Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser. Now, basically, this is about a movie about a bunch of, like, misfits, kind of people who don't really fit in, who all band together to fight against one common threat, who is Ronan, who's trying to get the Power Stone and control the universe. So, yeah. And this film is really good. I really enjoy it, and I think it's one of the best movies ever. The music is amazing, and I love the music. So, yeah, guys. Next up is Avengers: Age of Ultron. Alright, so now we get to the kind of the worst part of Phase 2, in my opinion. Avengers: Age of Ultron. Now, I'd say as a film, it's good. I like Quicksilver. I love Scarlet Witch. She's one of the best characters. But there are a lot of problems with this movie. One, Ultron isn't interesting to me at all. Like, at all. He doesn't interest me. His character, like, I like how he has overlays of Tony and, like, Bruce and stuff, but he's just there. And it's the same director as The Avengers. Joss Whedon also directed this film. And to be honest, it's not that good. There's a lot of cool scenes in it, and the characters are fleshed out really well. But other than that, I don't really like it. It casted James Spader as Ultron, and Vision as Paul Bettany. So that was pretty cool. And yeah. So basically, this film was also, people didn't really perceive this film very well. Not a lot of people liked it, and I would be along with that majority. I'd say there's a lot of a lot of parts of the movie that weren't memorable. I liked, like, the romance and all of between Black Widow and Hulk, and all of Hawkeye's parts, and kind of Cap in this film. But a lot of characters like Iron Man and Thor are very boring to me. Now, I know this sets up Infinity War, kind of, but not enough for me to, like, really like it. But when I rank all the MCU films after I do Phase 3, you'll see how much I, really enjoy. So next up, the same year, that was released on May 1st, 2015, by the way. So the next year, July 17th, 2015, or same year, a couple months later, yes, Ant-Man came out, which is one of the best films in the MCU. It was directed by Peyton Reed. It starred Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, Corey Stoll as Yellow Jacket, and Michael Pena as Lewis, of course. Now, Ant-Man is a really good movie. It's about this guy who finds a suit, and it's just kind of like a catfish. This guy's trying to find a burglar to do his work for him, to, like, get back his company. And the suit basically makes you small, and you can also talk to ants and stuff. And I really like that about the movie. It's hilarious. Lewis is so good in this film. It's just one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I would rank it up with some of my favorites. So yeah, that's where Phase 2 does end. Phase 1 ends with Thor. With Avengers, which is like a big film, and that kind of leads into the big kind of, culmination, and then all the Phase 2 is kind of introducing new characters and introducing and expanding everyone's story. And then it kind of just ends with Ant-Man, but it starts with a big film, which is Captain America: Civil War. But we'll get on to that next time. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and comment down below. And if you guys want me to do any more MCU videos, just make sure to tell me. I will definitely be doing Phase 3 and ranking my Marvel movies. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye!